It's bad when you can't even remember how old you are. Hey guys, welcome back to Hely Handmade. I'm doing a different video again this week. They're all going to be different. Anyway, I was doing sort of a get ready to go to sleep type thing on my skincare I do at night. Not sure what I was doing with the flying hands, and I thought I'd talk as well about chronic fatigue syndrome, what it is, symptoms with it, and I just wanted to sort of talk about it as it's one of the conditions that I do suffer with, as well as chronic pain. And oh my god, my brain's gone blank. That's a symptom, brain fog. Fibromyalgia. Anyway, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on if you want to know when I've next uploaded. But let's get on to the video. Where am I starting? Oh, me toner. We've talked about that before, so to be fair, most of these products we've talked about before because, you know, I did the morning one and I do similar at night. So, chronic fatigue syndrome, just so you know as well, I'm just reading the definitions because there's things that I've forgotten myself. And also the symptoms that are included in this, they don't always go for everybody. They are symptoms that have been voiced by other people who have the conditions. You don't generally have all of them in order to have chronic fatigue syndrome. So chronic fatigue syndrome is a long-term illness with a wide range of symptoms. The most common symptom being is extreme tiredness. So this one is a massive one for me. I'm not going to see now. I spend most of my time feeling like a zombie, feeling drained, and I just generally feel unwell all the time because I'm just that tired. Now, my tiredness will change daily. Some days I may be alright, I may be able to do my normal everyday things, but if I overdo it just a little bit, that's it. The next day I'm in bed, I can barely walk, and I have to have help getting around the house and all that. So it's one of those things. And sleep is, as much as sometimes it's a struggle to fight yourself not to sleep in the day, it's sometimes also the best thing for you, or you set your alarm for about 20 minutes later just in case you do fall asleep or anything like that, because then you're not ruining your sleep arcadia or something like that, so your sleep pattern at night. Yeah, so if you sleep for a long period in the day, at night you're going to find it even more difficult to get to sleep. And even if you do sleep during the day, you also find that you become more tired because it's not the right sleep. It's not the sleep where you go into your REM state and you actually relax and rest. But at the same time, even if you don't sleep in the day, I find that even at night when I do go to sleep normally and wake up normally, you know, at natural lighting, whatever comes through, I still don't feel refreshed. It would help if I had my glasses on to see the next bit because I can't read without literally putting my face to it. CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome, is also known by its original name, which is ME. I'm not going to pronounce because I can't. So many people refer to it as CFS/ME, and it can affect anyone, including children. It's more common in women and tends to develop between your mid-20s and mid-40s. And I'm 20. Am I 20? I am 29. I had to really. No, I'm not. I'm turning 29 next month. It's bad when you can't even remember how old you are. Says a lot for me. So I'll get into some of the symptoms as well. I'm just going to be using my toner. Where did I put my little pads? Main symptoms are obviously feeling extremely tired and generally unwell, so I've mentioned that before. Others also can be sleep problems, so if you sleep in the day, you mess up your sleep, and generally sleeping at night. You know, I've just said all this. Muscle and joint pain, because you feel that you can't exercise like you used to because everything you do you get too tired, or you are having a good day and you literally overdo everything to make up for the days where you feel guilty because you cannot move about. That one is a big one for a lot of us that sort of suffer with that. The other one's headache. I have headaches anyway. When I was 10, I got hit by a car, I fractured my skull. All the nerve endings were trapped inside when the fracture healed, so they're already damaged. I get headaches from that, but I do also get migraines on top of them. It's not a nice thing, which also recently, very nice one, I say recently, since probably about last year it started, I now get what they call systematic strokes, or symptomatic strokes, sorry, which it isn't a stroke, but it's all the symptoms of a stroke. So you'll get one side will droop, you can't feel it, you'll feel sort of like you've got burning down this bit, and my arm will start to drop and I can't move it very well and things like that. Thank God it's not a real stroke, but it still feels like one. Your body's basically telling you, no, you need to stop, you need to rest because you've done too much. And it's one of the ways that your body will tell you, other than telling you you're not getting out of bed because you're not well enough to do anything. But sometimes those things cannot be avoided. You also get sore throats, so I've always had problems with my throat, whether it's been tonsillitis, just generally sore glands, laryngitis because I no longer have my tonsils, things like that. But yes, or sore glands that are not swollen. So I've had that a few times, and it'll be so sore, they'll look, but there'll be nothing really wrong to see. Thinking, remembering, or concentrating. All three of those are me. If somebody wants me to think about something on the spot, I'll panic. I can't do it, my brain's gone into overload and the cogs get stuck, so I can't think of that. Remembering is also an awful one. I do get very annoyed, and it can't be helped sometimes, but when people talk over me, I lose my train of thought, and it annoys me because obviously I want to remember what's going on, but I can't. And also I find that, to be fair, I think you saw in a couple of videos ago, I spoke over myself and forgot I was like even on about. So it's just that easy to sort of, and concentrating, yeah, I can't concentrate on the same thing for too long. I have to do different things, otherwise I just break down. Like, I just can't figure it out. Other symptoms including flu-like symptoms. I think that's more along the lines of when you've done too much and you feel like you can't get out of bed, you just don't want to eat, you just don't feel like your normal self, you know, that sort of thing. Feeling dizzy or sick. The sickness one I don't really get. The dizziness I do. Some days I'll be absolutely fine, other days I'll suddenly just walk about, move, and then I'll suddenly feel dizzy, and I will either fall over or luckily something will catch me. And then the other one being fast or irregular heartbeats or heart palpitations. So I do get that one, I do get those fairly often, but not as much as I used to because I've been looking out for different treatments, just something to help. Most people find over-exercising makes the symptoms worse, which, yeah, it does. It's the worst thing you can do, but at the same time you feel that guilty that you can't help other people do what they need to do because you're like in a prison. You can only do something for a little while and then you have to get yourself rested, locked away, and you feel like you're useless. So on those days where you feel great, you suddenly feel guilty because you're like, oh, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with me, I'm having a great day. And that's when it's commonly, when you get a lot of people turn around and say, you don't deserve that disability badge, you shouldn't be doing that, you're walking perfectly fine. yes, it's an invisible illness to you. That's to you. You can't see who I am and what I'm doing. And it frustrates me and it upsets me because some days I go, well, yeah, why do I need this? And then other days I'm walking with a stick because I cannot move properly. I'm having to hold on to walls, onto Luke, onto anything I can grab just to get some sort of balance. It's one of the most horrible feelings, but what I'm sort of learning to do is pace myself. So if I do an activity just for a little while, I will probably do about 10 minutes and then I will take a break for 10 minutes or 10 to 15, you know, so just over, and then I'll come back to it. Because if I did that all in one go, I can't, my energy's gone. I'm depleted and I'm out for a day or two, sometimes even weeks. Obviously recently we've moved, and even though I haven't done as much work as Luke and other family members coming in to help and all that, and I felt guilty for that because otherwise I'll crash. But unfortunately I did crash. I've had a few days in bed and I couldn't get out of it. For chronic fatigue syndrome, there's no specific test. It would help if I'm actually getting myself ready, wouldn't it? Yeah, there's no specific test to prove it. Thank you, Zelda. I'm in the middle of filming. Down. Thank you. I'm in her seat apparently, so she's not happy with me. I mean, she's supposed to be my assistant. We discussed it, but she does no work. What was I saying? Hold on, trying to see without glasses. Oh yeah, right. So there's no specific test to sort of say that you've got chronic fatigue syndrome, anything like that. But I know there are some NHS mental health trusts that do some courses. So they're like a 10-week course. You go for an assessment obviously with one of the people that run the service. I know the one within Lincolnshire, LPFT, they do a course and it's a 10-week one. You can either do it, you come in for a group session with other people as yourself, and you go through different techniques, and that's things to help improve. Chronic fatigue syndrome cannot be cured. There is no cure. There's only ways to better your life and try and make it more manageable, which is one of the best things I think to do. Right, that's my tuna. I mean, I have got a folder. It's in one of my boxes that we've not unpacked yet, and it's got all of my resources in, things to look back through regarding things that can help me. Now, I did put a message out on a few different social media platforms, links and descriptions if you actually want to follow me. I will get more active soon. A few weeks ago I put some messages out on my socials regarding any sort of myths or any questions regarding chronic fatigue syndrome. I had a few replies, one of them being that exercise is helpful, which for that being a myth, it depends on what the exercise is. Now, if you went out and decided, oh, I'm going to do a full body workout, I'm going to hit the weights, I'm going to go and do loads of press-ups, sit-ups and all that, yeah, that's not going to help you at all. That's just going to make you burn more energy faster and you will crash from that. Now, there's different things like Qigong, which is what I've got within my resources somewhere, and I know there's quite a few YouTubers that do like Qigong, and also mindfulness things, whether it's just sitting there and just focusing on your breathing. There's a lot of, I think, Headspace and Calm, is it? Yeah, Headspace and Calm are really good for just having some time to yourself and breathing. I'm just going to shove some of my blemish stick on my face. Oh, I didn't show you this one. Hold on. I got this one from Boots, but I've not had it for a while, but I remember I used to love it. But as I went to the zoo the other day, I got bitten like twice on my face. Oh, that was one. It was a massive spot that came up from it. Same with one down here, but I've got some beautiful tools and I just pressed it until it popped. I like popping spots. I'm very much a fan of Dr. Pimple Popper. Oh my god, it's bright. But yeah, it's a blemish stick, and it's tea tree and witch hazel, and it's a Boots Own range. And I find it great for sort of getting rid of my redness and my spots. Love it. There we go, that'll do for now. Just put that all over wherever I need it, like it's soap for a minute. I'm on an NHS website, which I will link in the description if you want to read a bit more about it. It may help you understand. Some people don't always. There's a little section on here that says living with chronic fatigue syndrome. So living with it can be difficult. Extreme tiredness and other physical symptoms can make it hard to carry out everyday activities. You may have to make some major lifestyle changes. CFS can also affect your mental and emotional health and have a negative effect on your self-esteem. That one's very true. It leaves you feeling like, what can you do? You feel your self-esteem goes so low because your body doesn't want to work with you. One of the most upsetting parts of it, the frustration of not being able to do as much as you used to. For me, it's very different. I mean, I've worked ever since I left school, and when I was told to leave college, I was working temporary jobs, but working constantly. And then I got a job in the NHS. I was an apprentice administrator, but then I went on to do bank nursing assistant. I think I loved that part of my job more, working with people. And then I kept going up, but I was still doing admin jobs in the NHS for a while, and different trust as well I moved to. And then I decided to give caring a try. I worked for 2 different companies, and caring was one of the best jobs I ever did, and I loved it. If I could do it, I would. But I shouldn't have done that job because I did too much and I crashed. And I constantly did that to the point where I broke down and I couldn't move, and that's when my health declined. Anyway, I'm just going to take these off again because I can't see. So just put a moisturiser on, that's all. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. Obviously ring that bell, but if you do have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer them. Hopefully I've edited out as much waffling as possible, because half of it I can't remember what I said. Anyway, thank you. Bye.